What's tonight, folks? If this team get beat, we in the final four.
He's a poor man LeBron, bro, when it comes to trades. It's like, you guys look at, KD went to go
down 3 games, it's a quick sweep.
Not cap if you want to. Cap if you want to. Cap if you want to.
You know what's in me.
When I said that they let James Harden do the same thing and let Kevin Durant do the same thing, and they're essentially letting James Harden do the same thing again.
I said Kevin Durant should have took a 50-50 blame, and Westbrook should have took a 50-50 blame too.
Bust motherfucking down. You feel me? What's up, Moo?
What's up with your big dog?
Shit,
back in the building.
Oh, let me stretch it out. Boo, I'll be here in a second, but we wanted to get started with Adam because that's what we do over here, man. How you fellas doing? I can't even say that because there's only one fella here.
Hey, man, I'm good, man. How are you doing, big dog? You know what I'm saying?
Hanging in there, bro. Hanging in. It feels good to be back. You feel me? Got some sports to talk about, you know.
See my boy back over there, man. Stop playing with him, dog.
I'm here. I had to get the stuff all set up and, you know, missing some shit, but you know how that goes when you move.
Man, that's true. Setting up is kind of crazy when you move.
Yeah, I gotta find some more shit. I don't know where my shit at. And then I'm using my bins as, you know, stands and shit. So
it's all good. The first 2 weeks I was here, I was using a bucket.
Listen, we gotta do what we gotta do.
You know what I mean?
Man, show must go on. You feel me?
That's what we do, man. And
we in the building, but we're gonna start off with something slight real quick. I want to jump into it. Let me I'm gonna go that to Boo up get in here. So little birdie told me about ESPN picking up Inside the NBA.
Yes, sir. I was actually reading up on that. Let me pull up the article real quick if I got it saved. Because I thought that was actually pretty dope. Yeah, so their contract had got renewed with ESPN/ABC going forward. So that deal, I guess, is the deal that they were working on outside of what was it, TNT?
Yeah.
So with that as of course a longevity show, which we can probably see some other stars probably be incorporated into that show as well.
Well, 2025, 2026. That's when this starts. Because I know this year coming up, they're still going to be. This year is already here, so they're still going to be on TNT.
Yep. They'll finish out this contract with TNT, and then the next year, that's when they'll roll into the ESPN, ABC type shit. But then, that would be interesting for TNT games because then you would have Inside the NBA on ABC/ESPN. So then they would have to put something else for that TNT slot right there, like for halftime, because Inside the NBA is big during halftime. You know, Kenny running to the screen and all.
Yeah, all the antics and shenanigans. I mean, I'm glad to see that they got picked up by somebody.
No, most definitely.
You don't want to see a show like that go. It is a really good show, very entertaining show. A lot of people tune into that show, so you definitely want to find some way to keep it going. Happy to see it's on ESPN. I think ESPN can utilize something like that. I'm with you with TNT, but I think TNT already had that game plan somewhere in it where they knew they were going to lose Inside the NBA after this season. I mean, even with them making another bid, you know, to TNT to still stay on their network, and TNT basically shutting them down because they wanted to go Amazon. Writing was on the wall, so they had to make a move. They made a move, and I'm happy.
I'm surprised it wasn't Amazon, though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, Amazon can't pick them up because Amazon is what beat them out, isn't it? Isn't Amazon the one that took over their percentage?
think that might be true. Yeah.
I think it was Amazon.
It's just with everything conforming and confiding or like folding into Amazon, you would think that would have been like the easiest choice. But I'm glad for ESPN and ABC. I think this is something that they need. Just those personalities together to keep those guys together. I think that's important, and I think that's kind of what they understood going forward. Is that the show must go on, but I don't think it can go on without like a certain person, you know what I'm saying, or certain people, you know.
I mean, I hear Shaq. Something about Shaq came out where they said all of them was returning, but I don't know if it's true. But then Shaq supposedly came that he ain't hear nothing or some shit like that.
I mean, hey, as long as we got them all together, I think that's the best part about it. We can still get to see some really dope basketball content, some really good basketball breakdowns from, you know, four legends, because, you know, Uncle Ernie is a legend in his own right. So I'm glad that they get to continue.
Wait, so I'm reading something here, right? It says at TNT Sports, we take great pride in our Inside the NBA show and know its success is both a reflection of the iconic talent on set and the incredible people behind the set who continuously demonstrate the creativity and craft of our great team. TNT Sports CEO said in a statement, "We are thrilled to continue to produce the Inside the NBA for ESPN and ABC, ensuring fans are able to keep enjoying the magic of the show during the NBA season." So is that saying that TNT is going to be producing the show on ESPN?
That was going to be my question. Like, does that mean that TNT is basically going to take creative control and basically be producing the show from the outside looking in?
So it says the agreement is a part of a settlement after Warner Brothers, because one member, after they turned them down, Warner Brothers sued them.
Yeah.
The parent company of TNT Sports and the NBA in the New York State Court in August after the league did not accept the company's matching offer for one of the packages in its new 11-year media right deal, which begins in 25-26. The settlement gives TNT Sports, Bleacher Report, and House of Highlights a global license for the NBA content with no right fee for the next 11 years. The opportunity to continue the iconic and award-winning Inside the NBA is a huge win for basketball fans everywhere. The NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said in a statement, "We look forward to building on our long-standing partnership with TNT Sports and working together to promote NBA content across the." So what it sounds like to me that TNT is still going to be producing it, even though TNT Sports will not be airing games in the United States beginning next season. It does have the right to air a few package of games selected in countries. Yeah, I mean, now they're getting to the deal. I don't want to talk about the deal. I want to know if the relationship with the league, including NBA.com for 5 seasons, TNT and NBA have jointly managed NBA digital system. It is interesting because it does sound like it does sound like TNT will be producing the show, which is interesting.
But they won't be airing games though.
No, the games would be airing on ESPN and ABC.
Okay, yeah, no, that
it looks like to me, because I'm reading it on ESPN. It looks like to me that TNT is going to be producing the show still, which is stupid because you get sued to still produce a show. I mean, that's a little
like just not to view it, but you're still going to produce it just so you have creative control, or just so you have a say, or you can get that royalty check, I guess. Is that what that means?
Right.
Or is it more to the sense of, you know, like that is technically their creation. So at the end of the day, if that creation is going to go to another network, then it should still receive some way, shape, or form of benefits from it.
Yeah, I mean, but for me, it's like it's a little weird because to not want them back, to turn down that last over, to get sued, and then now you got to still produce the show.
Yeah, that's that's kind of weird. And it's like, I don't know if the motive was to not play games on TNT, because I know they're really big on the movies and stuff like that too. So like if that's the motive, to move more towards the movie side, I guess, of it, then I don't know. I just feel like this might be the downfall of TNT at this point, because basketball was a huge market on that network for years.
Mm-hmm. Bua, we talking about the TNT, ESPN AB getting inside the NBA. From what it looks like from us is TNT is still going to be producing this show. It's just going to be appearing on ESPN and ABC instead of being produced instead of appearing on TNT.
Mm-hmm.
Which is my assessment as well,
which is a little weird to me, because you sign a new media deal with another company, Warner Brother gets you matches on offer, you turn them down, they sue you, and now you still got to produce the show.
And then you're not playing games on TNT no more either. So
yeah, after this year, they're going to be playing on ESPN, but you still got to produce the show. It's a little,
or solely on ESPN and ABC.
Yeah, like I said, that's my assessment as well. I'm glad they keeping the show together though, for the most part. Like, so I didn't know at first was the show just gonna end, but like I'm pretty happy that the show gonna stay together for the most part. I wonder if Stephen A gonna be on that motherfucker though. That's what I'm thinking. Like
Stephen A or Draymond,
somebody, right?
But that's like what Mulis just said. It does open up opportunities for other stars.
Yeah, it's somebody's going to end up a young, star, or somebody younger than obviously the guys that they got up there, and so that might be on their way out or recently retired, something like that. Especially considering I think Jalen Rose just got picked up for another sports network as well. So it's like you never know with the possibilities now, considering that ESPN and ABC do have a lot of employees out there that essentially aren't really working right now for any major network. So they probably benefit.
Me and Moolah said what we had to. I don't know if you want to add anything else.
I'm good, man. Like I said, just glad the show's still gonna be still around. You know what I'm saying? Definitely Ernie. You know what I'm saying? At least till he's ready to hang it up, which is gonna be
wow, honestly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you feel me, all on his own. So it's like, yeah, just glad to see the show, man. Still.
All right. Moving on to the game of the week, which we were supposed to have this episode yesterday, but me and Boo Up had some children problems, so we moved it to today. I'm just telling you right now, my daughter, as soon as I set up the damn computer yesterday, she got happy. I don't know why she got happy, but she got happy. And then when I put the StreamYard on it, she got even happier. I don't know why. Then when it came bedtime, she didn't want to go to sleep. And I told my dad this morning, I said, I think she wanted me to start and be on so you could just see her come right here and shit, laughing.
Yeah.
But that can't happen, We got rules to follow over here.
That's why I had to kick my son and my wife out, because he's known to do the same thing.
Yeah, we got some rules to follow over here. But our game of the week was the Boston and Celtics game, which is taking place right now. Boston is up by 16. I'm gonna go with Bua. Bua, what were you looking at this matchup if we would have talked about it yesterday, not today?
Obviously, these are two of the best two teams in the league, probably the best two teams in the league, right? So, I don't know if I was looking for something in particular other than obviously the stars to show up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got the backcourt of Donovan and Darius Garland, which is looking like the best backcourt in the NBA right now. So, versus probably the most rounded team in the league, which is the Boston Celtics. So, I was just looking for a tough, fought-out game, I guess. Right now, it's not looking that way. but still a long game.
It's only midway through the third.
Exactly. But yeah, just basically giving us the keys to what we probably going to see most likely in the second or third round of the Eastern Conference.
Move.
Now, I understand that, and
Damn,
just watching this game right now. To me, it just seems like there are some teams that are going harder in the NBA Cup play than other teams. And looking at the Celtics and how they're playing right now, it's not, a reminiscence of how they've been playing all season, especially considering how they played the other night. So I don't know. I don't know if this is just them being tired. I don't know if this is just them being lackadaisical or just them having an off night. But I definitely expected the game to be a lot closer than what it is right now. They're on a historic run, obviously. So you would think that they, of course, would try to continue that streak. But like I said, I don't know if it's fatigue. I don't know. Man, and you just committed a bad foul too. I don't know if it's just, them kind of getting figured out. It's just them not taking group play seriously in the NBA Cup. But I definitely expected a stronger showing, especially from, what Buap said, the two guys that are considered probably the best backcourt in the NBA right now, Garland and D. Mitch. I know D. Mitch was kind of shaken up the other night. So maybe that might be, affecting him, but you still have to get, a lot from your other guys. And that's part of the reason why the Cavs have been so successful. Is they're getting a lot from their other guys, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Porter Jr. is also on the team as well. So, I mean, like I just don't think they're getting what they need from their others right now. And also their stars aren't necessarily helping.
I mean, like you said, the Cavs are on a historic run, 15-0. You hate to see it, because it's all for nothing. Me. Me. I'm back, baby. Did you miss me, boo? Me. All right, see, now it's a closer game, 11-point game. That's what I'm talking about right there. The Cavs are a pretty young team, pretty good team. I don't think at some point in the season they will kind of fizzle out and level themselves out. I don't expect them to go on a run like Golden State, or anything like that. But let's see how far they take it. Let's see how far the Cavs take it. Buap said maybe we meet up in the second or third round. That could be. Or, the Knicks could have something to say about it. You never know what's going to go on in the NBA. You feel me? You never know. Cat got something to prove this year. 10-point game. Let's go.
10-point game.
Just like that. It went from 16 to 10, Buap.
Yeah, 16 to 10.
The
Evan
Cavs
Mobley Evan Mobley right now is leading all his teammates with 18.
That's right.
Not really getting much.
I mean, they got the team, bro. They play defense. They play defense. You know what I'm saying? And they seem like Donovan and Darius Garland have figured it out. Like they know, each other's strengths, and it's looking good. Can't deny it. They got some solid veterans on the team.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that defense is honestly the problem right now for them. They're just not showing out. They're not playing good defensively right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. You got all of the Celtics starting.
They just got a charge.
All the Celtics starting five is in double figures right now, and they're shooting 60% from three. So, I think
we're missing shots right now. So I mean, we need to get that together.
But I think Missoula understands that you can frustrate, not necessarily beat the Celtics or beat the Cavs, but how you can more frustrate them is to have shooters that don't necessarily have to go inside the paint on their first move. So they can have shooters, they can have guys that can live and that can, live around the three-point line in the perimeter. And that's going to push those centers out to the baseline, out to the perimeter, whatever the case may be, which is going to give those guards, Jaylen Brown, Jason Thompson, going to give those guys easy access to the lane and stuff like that because you're pulling the big guys out of the lane. So I think Missoula understands that, and that's probably the reason why they were up so big. But the Cavs trying to make it.
Yeah, Cavs brought it all the way back.
Yeah,
What you like to see? Two good teams battling it out.
I mean, look, what we look for.
It would be great to see the Cavs make it to a finals without LeBron. I know nobody wants to say it, but Troy gonna say it. I don't think people think the turnaround would have been this fast for the Cavs. But some good drafting, some good development, some good trading, some good free agency pieces picked up by them, and they're a contender. But how far they go, not sure. We know playoffs are a different monster. Game slows down, and we know Donovan Mitchell, in his past endeavors in the playoff hasn't really worked out for him. Have him and Garland got it together? Maybe so, because he re-signed. You remember he did sign that extension, if I'm not mistaken. So he wants to be there. He wants to stay there. That's good. So now you got to work those kinks out and start making it work. And that's what you're seeing the Cavs doing now, which is great for them because they're a young team. It's always good for young teams to be up there. But I just want people to keep in mind, when Shea Gildress, did this. Not the 15-0, but when he was running the Thunder up there, they finished with the best record in the West, if I'm not mistaken, 2 years ago. People were saying they were going to the finals. That's why I'm a whole judgment on the Cavs right now. Great start. Glad to see it. It's good for basketball. Hasn't been done, a kind of run like this hasn't been since the Golden State Warriors, right?
Yeah.
When they went 24-0.
Yeah. But I mean, the biggest factor for me with the Cavs, I mean, I'm not, saying that they can't maintain it. It's just the biggest factor is, can you guys stay healthy? That was the problem right going into the playoffs last year is, D. Mitch was hurt. Mobley was hurt. Jared Allen got hurt. I don't even think freaking, what's his name, Caleb Martin even played last year for the Cavs. So it was just a lot of injuries. So will they be healthy enough to make that deep playoff run in the playoffs when the time comes? That's my main question.
No, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying, because we got some teams with a little bit more experience that have been there. So I guess we gotta wait and see. It's a 4-point game now, thanks to this dude's turnover. But keeping on the Celtics, how are we feeling about Jason Tatum? Has he proven that he's a top 5 player, Mo?
I think he proved that 3 years ago, honestly.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, when you look at the upper echelon top caliber teams or the top caliber players in the league, if his name isn't there, I don't really know what kind of basketball you've been watching. It's crazy the disrespect that he's getting. I don't really understand where it's necessarily coming from. Maybe it's the championship effect. After you win a championship, the spotlight gets a little bigger, so a lot of people start to critique your game that much harder. But even then, he's still balling this season as well. I think he just had 2 game winners or some shit like that the other night. So I'm just trying to figure out how a young star goes from being a top 5 player to considered not being a top 5 player, because to me last year, and I'm pretty sure to everybody else, the MVP was pretty much between him, Luka, and Shea.
You're not mistaken.
No, that was Joker, Luka, and Shea in the run last year.
I thought that was the year before.
Jokic won it last year.
He did win it last year. Yeah, there was talks as to why Jason Tatum's not in the top and not in the
but which is why I posed the question anyway, right? When I was thinking about the doc or whatever. It's part of him not winning the finals MVP. That kind of really solidified it for a lot of the naysayers.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole debate who's better between him and Jaylen Brown, because most people don't believe Jaylen Brown is a top 5 player at all. They don't think he's a top 10 player. But if people think that some nights Jaylen Brown might be better than you, that's probably why you're not solidified yet in the top 5 rankings. Because right now, from what I'm seeing, just right now though, I think he absolutely is. He's averaging, I think, 37 and 6 on like crazy shooting splits.
Crazy shooting splits, bro.
I think again it's
shots
the
right now.
fact that he does have the best supporting cast in the NBA. People are going to look at that and say, well, your job is easy, X, Y, and Z. And then it's times where he doesn't come out, not right now, but like they're using past things on him. So I think at some point, when do he get to kind of like let those things go? Some of the hiccups that he did have early in his career where he wasn't always, you know what I mean, playing his best basketball when it mattered most. Like, when is that going to get off of him? Like, I guess he gonna have to just have a great playoff run, right? To kind of remove that stigma from him, because that's what people are really waiting on from him, I guess, like a real playoff run where he's looking like the best player on the Celtics consistently.
I mean, I don't think he would ever get it off of him, because if basketball history tells us anything, it would tell us once a player is up, he's up, but once he goes down, everything else comes back around. You feel me?
I always question that, though.
Like, soon as JT falls off, soon as he has a bad game, fans go. I see it in Boston forums. People go right back to the old stuff. When Jaylen Brown has a bad game, I see a lot of Celtics fans in these forums go back to trade him. So I think it's always an up and down. I feel like his peers know who he is. And I think a lot of them understand that he is proven that he could be considered a legit top 5 player in the NBA right now.
Yeah, I think he's proven that even throughout the years, though, despite his, quote unquote, lackluster playoff performances. But I don't really think they're lackluster if you really watch the games. But that's another point for another time. And the whole thing about, the Jaylen Brown narrative is, if he's not, Jaylen Brown's not looked at as a top player, he may not looked at it be looked at as an overall top player, but at his position, he's looked at as a top 10 player. He has to be.
Yeah, I mean, that's still a very thin position. The two guard position is very thin after you get outside of that top 5. You know what I mean? But again,
my point is, being a top player at your position ain't no easy feat. And a lot of people, not saying us, but a lot of people like to push that narrative. Well, he's not better than Jaylen Brown, so how can we consider him a top 5 player? But like, Jaylen Brown is a top 5 player at his position. That's what makes the Celtics so good. So of course, on any off night, yeah, the other guy who's also a top 5 player at his position is going to pick up the slack for surely. Like, that's how the dynamic of that team has to work. That's how it breaks down. I get a lot of people don't understand that, but like, when talking about Jason Tatum, like, if you're going to compare him to his teammate, then you have to have some way, shape, or form of basis or foundation to do that, because at that point you just talking.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Jason Tatum doesn't get as much respect, but coming from me doesn't really mean anything. So
he's 38 right now, or 28 right now, 28 and 11.
Well, he better 28 and 11 his ass and win this motherfucking game and get a cast at first loss. That's all I'm saying. All right, kill it up, Tatum. All right, moving on to another guy. I saw something, I don't know if it's true, but I'm gonna. Would you rather? I'm gonna pass that real quick, all right? Because I think this is a more important conversation, and we're time restricted. All right, so I don't know if this is true, but I saw a stat that said in the last 3 games, De'Aaron Fox is averaging like 46 points or some shit a game and some shit like that. I don't know if it's true. I am here on ESPN. So, but we talked about this earlier in the season where we asked, would it pay off for him? Would it pay off for De'Aaron Fox to make the decision? And I know, Guap, you feel like it is?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I feel that okay, way. So In his last 3 games, he's averaging 45 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds with 2 steals.
Yeah, that man going
shooting 60% from the 3, 55 from the field.
That boy's going nuclear.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, pay that young man. Yeah.
He trying to be the highest paid.
Pay him. Somebody gonna pay him.
He trying to be paid smooth. Somebody definitely gonna pay him. Do you think he should go elsewhere, or do you think he should stay with the Kings though?
That's a great question. Now the problem is you gotta look around, you see what's out there, where could you go? And to me, it ain't a lot of destinations out there. Could you go play with Ant? Probably not, because they probably, I don't know. You could. I don't know. That's a small market team. Maybe go play with Miami. I mean, it's not that many places. That's the problem. Like that need his services that I can just see. That's going to be a contender. You might as well stay in Sacramento. You got the core there. Might as well get paid there. Yeah, I'll probably get the bread from them. Rat it out with a young core.
That's where you can get your most of your bread from.
Probably where you can get all of it, honestly.
Yeah. You taking it from somewhere else, you're going to get less.
That's true.
They still got to want to give them the max.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, why wouldn't you want to give him the max?
Yeah, at the rate he's playing right now, I feel like he is the max player on that team, especially with the other 3 guys that they considered that they build around aren't playing right now. And Sabonis, DeMar, and freaking Malik Monk.
Keegan Murray too.
Yeah, Keegan Murray is actually the only one that is been on the court for him. So it's like him and Keegan has been legitimately trying to hold it down. And I think that's the only thing that'll probably come back to bite him is how they ultimately finish in standings for the West. Unfortunately, they're dealing with a lot of injuries right now. So we'll see how, it's still early in the season. So we'll see how they bounce back. But I think he's made his case to be the max player on that team, to get his money definitely from them. I think if he does decide to leave, depending on the market and depending on the team, of course, I feel like somebody else would definitely pay him. I don't think they're going to pay him what he wants, like the Kings would, because I think they give him that loyalty deal, not a deal, but they give him that loyalty, that loyalty rewards program to where he's been there for so long. But I think he's made his case. He solidified his case, right? Him betting on himself, him averaging basically, over 30 for the past, 3 games. And even before the game where he went nuclear and dropped 60 and then on the back-to-back dropped damn near 50. He's been averaging damn near 30 points a game. I think he's making his case. He's understanding that the fact that, if he wants to be paid like a max player, he has to play like a max player. And he's also been looking good on the defense side of the ball as well, too. So, shoot. He sounds like he deserves it to me.
Facts.
Definitely deserves the money.
I think he's gonna definitely get it, and he just probably should stay in Sacramento.
If it's not all about the money and you want to go win a championship, then I don't know.
Where you gonna go?
I don't know.
That's just the question,
because it's not just where you're gonna go; it's where you're gonna go that you're gonna contend, and that's willing to give you the money.
That's the biggest question: where you're gonna go that you're gonna win at, and that's gonna give you the money.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the ultimate goal.
What the fuck is Al Horford doing right now? Somebody got to kick old man in his knee, get him jump started again.
Oh no, I think that's a bad call, but that's just me.
So De'Aaron Fox, hope you get your money. I mean, he is a young star, so you definitely want to. I mean, there are teams too that out there that could just be like, "Yo, what's up, man? We trying to go all the way."
Also true.
Missing one piece, man. You could be the piece. And Donovan, I mean, and De'Aaron, like, all right, fuck it, man. I'd have been here for what, 8 years? How long you been with the Kings?
I think 8 years, yeah. I think this is 8th year right now. Exactly.
I've been here. You know, I think it's time for me to try something else.
He came in that Lonzo draft, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Same draft.
Yeah. So this is year 8 for him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. On the money. Troy got it. Don't worry. I ain't have to look it up.
Come on, Cook.
It was a guesstimation, but I still got it.
Yeah. He was on the dot.
No, this is actually year 7.
No, this is 8. We just gonna count it as that, but we'll up and move on.
Let's get it.
But yeah, you gotta definitely. I could definitely see some teams trying to snatch him up. Like, what if he go to the Wolves?
I don't think they're gonna have the money for him.
They ain't gonna have the money for him. They might have to get rid of Rudy.
That wouldn't be.
But hey, there's some pieces you can move to make that work. Anthony Edwards and De'Aaron Fox.
That wouldn't be a bad idea, though.
Oh no, boy. Oh no. You feel me? I don't know.
Wouldn't be a bad idea. Rudy.
I mean, Jimmy might be out of Miami, so I ain't gonna say the Heat.
Yeah,
They ain't getting old. What if Bucks?
You
Bucks
got Bam down there, Tyler Hero.
What if you? I mean, would you rather Bam, Tyler Hero, and Fox, or Giannis and Fox?
Bam, Tyler Hero, De'Aaron Fox.
I like Giannis Antetokounmpo and Fox. Somebody that could take a lot of that offensive focus off of him and still while giving you 46 of 9. You feel me?
He already basically got that in the game right now. Like,
that's not true.
But I mean, the thing about De'Aaron, though, the plus about De'Aaron is he plays better.
That's true, but he definitely plays better defense.
All right, what about this? De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama.
That's crazy because that really would work, though. That's the cool part about it. They would need a strong wing, though.
Hey, you can move some pieces and make it work, bro.
This is true.
Jimmy Butler might be up. You know, you never know. You never know. Only thing about Jimmy, he go to the Spurs. Pop ain't putting up with those hairstyles, man. One hairstyle for the rest of the term. You feel me?
I don't think Pop coaching after this shit.
No, I don't think so either.
Honestly.
Not after what happened.
Shout out to Pops.
Shout out to Pop. I just thank you, Pop. I say shout out to Pop, man. God bless you, man. Get better.
Definitely
and then retire, man. Y'all guys be doing this too long. All that stress that you're dealing with, bro. You gotta relax sometimes. All right, we got a little bit of time left, so I'm gonna bring it back. Who up asked the question? Would you rather be right now? Would you rather be Atlanta, Charlotte, or Detroit? Who up? I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, I was gonna rephrase because I wanted to take Atlanta off because Atlanta just fucked up right now. Probably
so who you want to replace it with? Or is it
I was just gonna focus on Detroit and Charlotte because they kind of
Charlotte and Detroit
similars.
Yeah, because Atlanta fucked it up. They 5 right now in the East.
Yeah, so I would say for me probably Detroit. I'm fucking with K right now. I think he's averaging like 23, 8, and 7.
Currently ranked 7.
You got
they 7th in 7th spot right now. Damn.
He's hooping. And then Durant, like, they got a little core. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what the fuck Charlotte really doing. Like, I don't know what's going on with this Miles Bridges situation. Like, he looks like he's just not the same. LaMelo, on the other hand, is hooping. He's averaging 29, 6, and 5.
Boy over there balling.
Yeah, I had a lot of pushback on LaMelo. I actually didn't think he was going to be this good. Thought he could play, but the hype, I wasn't feeling it. I didn't think he was going to be better than Lonzo. Like, I thought Lonzo, to me, was going to be what he became with the Bulls a couple of years back, that type of player. Where I thought LaMelo was going to be just like, truly like a value two-guard type dude. I didn't really think he would be a great playmaker. And I'm being honest, like it sounds bad, like because he's all of these things that
fucking him up right now.
Yeah.
Like he's a
beating
great
his ass right now.
So yeah, I just don't know what they doing in Charlotte though. Like I don't know what the plan is, and I like Brandon Miller too. That he's a bright star. Like, but I think Detroit, even though they're not obviously leading in the standings or anything with it, but I just like the
They're not at the
direction
bottom.
for it.
That's what shocked me is, Detroit ain't at the bottom of the standings. I like Cade Cunningham. I like Cade. LaMelo's good. But if you're asking, I think you're asking this question as in who has the brightest future. I could be wrong. And if I'm a GM and they asking me to take over one of these two teams, I'm not taking Detroit. So give me Charlotte. I can't take Detroit. They're losing city, boo up.
And Charlotte is a winning city, huh?
Charlotte ain't a losing city like the fucking Detroit.
Who got the most recent?
I ain't talking about past. I'm talking about right now.
Who got the most recent
Right now. So here we go. Can't stay on topic. We back. We back in full effect, people.
You trolling.
We back in full effect.
Charlotte is at 10
How you gonna
right
ask
now,
me?
so.
How you gonna ask me a damn question and I answer it and then I'm trolling?
You is trolling. That ain't making no sense
at all. It does make sense. I'm taking Charlotte because Detroit sucks.
And Charlotte don't suck.
That is my opinion.
And Charlotte don't suck. And Charlotte don't suck.
That is my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
Right.
Good
job, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Where's my medal?
We'll see how they do tonight because they're currently down by 1 to Brooklyn. But I mean, they're sitting at 10. So I mean, we'll see how this fluctuates as the season goes, of course. But if they can kind of get that Miles Bridges situation, figured out with the play of LaMelo Ball, I think they should. Maybe they should. They're poised to make a move around a trade deadline, but. Yeah, I think at this current time, I think I'm going Detroit because they've been playing a lot better. JB Rickenshire has came in and brought a whole new culture to that team. So it seems like they're more receptive to it. And yeah, they actually look competitive now. So I'm more inclined to go Detroit.
I'm sticking with Charlotte. That's it.
Oh yeah, they're gonna lose this game.
Who gonna lose the game?
The Cavs.
I don't know about that. It's a 2-point game.
Well, that was a bad pass. That might be a foul.
I don't know if you're ahead of me or not, but no, I think both. I think the what you said, the coach that did came in for the Pistons is doing a really good job with him. But when you got a guy like Cade, you don't want to keep your team down for too long because you don't want to lose a guy like that. But with Charlotte, it's injuries for me. I think the Miles Bridges situation, but I think them not having LaMelo the end of the year and dealing with some injuries over there, and then the Miles Bridges situation that they were dealing with. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, before the Miles Bridges situation and LaMelo get injured, they were kind of a competitive team, no? They were competing a little bit, no?
Pretty solid.
A tiny bit. They if I'm not mistaken, they were competing more than the Pistons, right? All right. So I would take, if you get Charlotte the right coach, you get Charlotte like the Miles Bridges situation, you make sure LaMelo's healthy, you figure out some. I think that team will be right back up there in the top 6, top 7, maybe 8 teams in the East. Detroit, I don't know how long it lasts for me. That's why I'm not trolling, boo. I'm being serious. I don't know how long it lasts.
Well, I mean, I understand why you say that, right? You got LaMelo, Miles, Brandon Miller, and then you got Trey Mann. So when you look at that, and then Jalen Green, Seth Curry, Caleb Mark coming off the bench. So when you look at that on paper, they should be a relatively good team / competitive team. So if they can get healthy and figure out how to get their team to click on the right note, then yeah, anything can happen. Especially when you got LaMelo averaging damn 30. So.
And why did you say? I wanted to ask Boo up a question. Why did you say Atlanta's about to lose Trey? Did something come out?
I mean,
or you just saying that because you feel?
Yeah, they could potentially lose him type deal. Like
Well, then wasn't we hearing rumors that he was supposed to be maybe shipped in the offseason? It was supposed to be him and Javonte, however you say his damn name.
Yeah,
not Javonte. I tell you that. I'm back in full effect.
That boy DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte, there you go. Thank you, fucker. Stupid ass name. But yeah, I mean, are you thinking in the line of Atlanta losing Detroit becomes the new Pistons?
I'm just saying,
because I don't see. Are they going to trade him? Who are they going to get for him in the trade? What team is going to be willing to give up a star player, or a star player to give? Because that's what they're going to ask in return. You're not right. But even if it's
once he make it clear that he want to trade, they got to them to take like they got to take.
True. I don't think that's true, and I'm not saying I'm going to say a name, but I'm not comparing him to the name. I'm just saying in this situation, this player, when KD asked for a trade, it wasn't just trade this nigga to any old team, right? But I know it's KD. So what I'm saying is the Nets made sure the package for him and Kyrie got them a great return. And that's what I'm saying Atlanta has to do for themselves. You can't just pull a trigger on a trade because Trae Young says
nobody. They didn't get no stars, and that's what I'm saying.
No, they
probably.
That's why I said they got a good package.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So is Atlanta? That's what I'm asking, boy. So is Atlanta willing to take that Nets type of deal because remember the Nets were kind of competitive a little bit, and then injuries and whatever. We thought they were going to be pretty good, and they kind of fell off, and now they're struggling.
This should be all about rebuild.
You think they should go to a rebuild? But yes. How? What does a rebuild look like? Is it draft picks? Is it trying to get a young player that's? He said no Trae Young.
Looks like no Trae Young there.
I mean, that's what we're basing this off. No Trae Young.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't know. It's just
literally just.
Who did they get? Who did they get back for DeJounte? What are his names?
You talking about the Pelicans?
Yeah, who did they get back from?
I
don't remember the trade, the names in it.
For who?
Who did Atlanta get for trading away Murray?
They got, I think they got I don't even remember. Might have been some picks.
So they got Dyson Daniels, Larry Nance Jr., E.J. Liddon, and Cody Zeller. Why is Cody still there? 2 first-round draft picks, including one from the Los Angeles Lakers and the other one from the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yep, that's exactly what I see.
That's 4 players, 2 picks. Now, the players on there, they ain't Cody Zeller. You know, I think you get a way better package for a guy like Trae Young.
Especially with the draft coming up in the next few years, I would think so.
That's all I'm saying. I think you would get you the GM. You taking that type of package that you got for Murray for Trae? Just to offload him and restart?
They two different caliber players. So right. I would be taking like some young talent that's somewhat decent with potential.
There we go. That's what I wanted to hear. What are the Atlanta's going to get out of this trade? Young talent draft picks, or are they shooting for a guy that they could build around, right? Or a guy that's been in the league a couple of years, like a Fox, right? Could they be going after a Fox? Could they think they could persuade Fox to go over and start with him?
Nah.
I don't think so, but I'm just saying we're throwing some names out there.
Yeah, but that's you'll have to do a sign and trade, and he's not gonna agree to go there.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the team restarting, there's nobody else there not get you. I'm just talking. I mean, what team is Trae Young going to end up on? That's the thing too. Where does he fit, and what scheme does he fit in the winning system, or is a team just going to grab him just to grab him?
I mean, I always said he should go to the Spurs, but that was with Pop.
If you go to the Spurs, don't you? If it's under Pop, then yeah, I understand because it would show Trae Young a lot of discipline in his game. But you think Trae Young is Wemby is better than Fox and Wemby as a duo, not as like individual players?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that because Trae could pass the ball, and Wemby definitely needs a guy that could pass the ball. And I'll help him with getting some points on the board.
I'm looking at the current, college, prospects right now. If Atlanta were to trade for a haul of picks, to me, it's the route that they go in which they want to build, right? Because you got RJ Davis coming out of North Carolina, also, but at the same time, Cooper Flagg is looked at as a one and done prospect as well. You got the big guy Hunter Dickinson out of Kansas, and then Johnny Broom, who was looked at as a really dominant forward and center last year, coming out of Auburn. And those are just the top 5 picks. So to me, it's how if Atlanta does decide to come off the Trae Young pick, it's how they want to build their team and move forward with the outlook of their team. So I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I don't know if it's necessarily a good idea. But I think if Trae Young is as good as gone, it may be something to explore at this point. Because unlike last year's draft, there's a lot of good players coming out of this draft. So, or at least there's projected to be. So, I think it'll definitely be something to explore, trying to build through the draft, especially with some young players.
And then on top of that, it might not work out. So, I mean, you got to kind of be smart if you're going to trade away, the staple front runner of your team in Trae Young.
Yeah. Didn't they already too?
You ain't got to be nothing, man. Trae Young is not getting you no ring. It's time to blow that shit up.
Yeah, but I mean, you could say that, but you put the right team around him, they could compete for a title. I mean, that's any team.
I don't see that though. I'm being realistic.
So if he goes to the Spurs, are they not going to compete?
He won't be the number one option there. That's Victor team.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't have to make him the number one option on Atlanta. He's just their number one option because they drafted him to be that. I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is if you put him in the right situation or build the right team around him where maybe he isn't the number one boo-op, where you get another guy like Murray that was supposed to come in and, help him out in that. And he's not, I don't think he's the number one option either. So I think that's where they kind of went wrong. I think they kind of was trying to get Trae a number 2 instead of trying to see if Trae is the number 2. You feel me? Because they want the kid around him. That's why I understand why you say you blow it up. It's over with, right? But I think if Atlanta went about it in a different way and they put the right pieces around Trae, I do think they would have been competitive. Because I mean, just you could call it a fluke, but just a couple years ago, they did get themselves to the Eastern Conference Final.
Yeah, we're competitive that one year. I don't know what the fuck they did, but they did it. Shit.
I mean, something got to give in that line of way. It's not just.
Did Trae they pay him already?
Yeah, I think Trae did.
Bro, they lucked up, bro. They lucked up, bro. They got to an Eastern Conference Finals, bro. I'm not sold on that at all, bro.
Because if they
I said you can call it a fluke. I said that's why I said you can call it a fluke.
I did.
You can call it a fluke.
And that's what I would have to do if I'm management. If I'm management, if I'm the GM of that team, owner, whatever, I would look at that was overachievement. We probably not wasn't probably supposed to get there, whatever, right? Like I'm gonna look at it that way, and then oh yeah, you got to be realistic.
The boys got there. How do we get back there? That's how I'm looking at it.
And we got there because teams were injured and teams choked.
But how do we get back there? We tasted it. How we get back there? Now I gotta make the moves
we can't get back there because we done tried different things to boost through this roster. Trae Young is not the ideal number one.
Listen,
that is
that
clear.
Atlanta couldn't beat Philly in the playoffs another time. Who says it?
What?
Who says it?
What?
Who says the Hawks couldn't beat Philly in the playoffs one more time? Who says it?
I say that.
Tall ask.
It is a tall ask, but Philly's injured, remember?
Yeah, but
all right.
If it ain't
listen, you can only play who's in front of you. So all the injury, nigga, you got injured, that's your fault. You should have been in for your team. Listen, sure. I'm not Joel Embiid getting called out by Kyle Lowry. All right, listen, I'm not getting called out by Kyle Lowry. All right, that ain't me. So direct your shit towards Embiid. All right, he getting called out by Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
All right, not me, boo. It's not me. But no, I feel you. I do understand what you're saying with Trae not being a franchise player. The Atlanta drafted him that way, so I'm just as you know, looking at it from the team perspective. What can we do to win? If that's the end of the road for Trae for them, then it's the end of the road. But now that's why I get to asking my questions: where does Trae fit? You know, what do they get? What's the package looking like that they get back from? Because it has to benefit both teams, and I just don't know what team can solely give Atlanta what they will want for Trae. So now it becomes a 4 team trade.
Why do we have Atlanta, to be all that?
Because Atlanta has to get assets back for what they put into Trae.
Bro, that's not how that always works. No, we don't always see that.
I think in this situation they would have to, though.
I don't think they would, bro. Especially if Trae forces their hand. Like, I don't know.
There's not much hand.
They just signed an extension, right? Like, when he signed the extension?
You could say Trae forcing their hand by asking for a trade, but they still ultimately have to pull the trigger. So they could determine whether they keep Trae on the rest of the season and trade him in the offseason, or they trade him by the trade deadline. Trade doesn't determine that. You could put as much pressure as you want on them. If Atlanta is smart, Atlanta will wait till they have a good package for him instead of just taking anything for him.
We see it all the time when you have like guys that's like Trae Young, right? A good player. He's a great player, excuse me. But again, the market is not as strong for him as it would seem. It's just not.
Mm-hmm.
Like
for Atlanta, it is.
Huh?
I said for Atlanta, it is.
Not for Atlanta either. Like if I'm Atlanta, it's just time to start over.
It is, but that's what I'm saying. You could say start over. I agree with you there. But what does that starting over look like?
It looks fucking bad. That's what starting over looks like.
That doesn't tell me anything, though.
It would have to tell me
what does it look
when you're
like?
rebuilding? You're starting from the bottom. It looks bad.
I'm talking about the trade. What does the trade look like? What are the pieces that come
looks
in?
like a bunch of players.
What are the pieces? What are the picks what are they looking like? So now we can assess the situation and be like, all right, if they go here and they get this guy, if they go get this guy, that's a basics. All right, they're going to draft this guy and go with this young guy. That's a base. Now you have to build around that. That's what I'm saying. We can't just sit here and say, oh, Trae Young's out. They're going to trade him. They're starting over. Like, no, I want to know what the fuck that shit look like. I want to know where in our eyes do we see Trae Young going and succeeding, like you said, the Spurs, and how does Atlantic succeed behind getting rid of Trae Young? That's what I'm asking.
One example of a team that he could go to and have some success. But at the end of the day, his market is not that strong, bro, because he's not a player that you could just bring. He's a system. He's a guy that needs the ball. Every team don't need a Trae Young. So it's going to be bad again. You still have to trade him.
Right, but that's what I said. Right, but that's what I said. If they trade him, what team is going to want Trae Young? Right, I said that earlier. Right, what team is going to want to trade for Trae Young? That's why I'm saying it might take. All right, I can see the Lakers. Right, I can see the Lakers. I can see the Lakers. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But if I'm Atlanta, you're gonna have to give me them young players. Right, so is Trae Young enough to go over there and help LA still stay relevant with the young players that they have that are good that's helping them? What are you going to replace those with? That's what I'm saying. To me, there's a lot of moving pieces when you're trading a guy like Trae Young and the team that gets him. That's why I said it could be a 3-team trade because you might have to relegate some other pieces from somebody else, even for the other team that's trading for him, because they might have to give up a lot of their young guys. Atlanta's not just going to be like, hey, give me 5-round picks. You know, give me 5 picks and 2 players and we're good. Like, no, Atlanta's going to try to get the bank for them, and we know that. This is what teams do.
They should.
Look at what Utah got for Dan Rudy.
Yeah, but Rudy had position. He damn near probably had more position.
And I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. But I'm just saying other teams are going to look at that. Like, look what they got for Rudy. Why can't I get a package like that for Trae Young?
But you can't, though, because at the end of the day, it's not a lot. Look, when you're going through a rebuild, you're just unloading. You're trying to get draft picks and contracts that you can just get rid of in the next year or two. That's what 100%. You're trying to do.
But
so you're not looking for your next star,
right? But with those draft picks, you are
potentially
right. With those draft picks, you are with the pieces that you bring in. Normally, right? You trade those pieces off again, the players, right? Or you waive them or something in that sense, so you can make more space or more room to bring a guy over that you think might be the guy that helped that guy that you want to bring in get to where you need him to be. And that's all I'm saying is, what does that look like? Because we see what it looked like for Detroit. Right after Detroit, won their championships, they tried to get it back together. They had some up and down seasons, and then they just went flat. And now they got a new coach, and they're starting to rise again. Right. So what I'm asking is, how is Atlanta going to get to that spot where they're going to rise again? Because
did you see Detroit not be bad for the last 10 years?
Yeah, but I literally just said that.
That's what's going to have to happen for Atlanta. They're going to have to be fucked up.
Okay, that's fine. But I know you don't have the answer, but I'm still thinking in the sense of what's their game plan, bro. You give up a player like Trae Young to start all the way over, you got to have some type of game plan or some type of metrics that you want to get to this point by this time. I don't think Detroit had that metric, right? Because they had some bad drafts, right? Where they drafted some guys where they thought was going to work out that didn't work out, or it's going to be more that didn't. Hey, fucking Killian Hayes. You feel me? They thought he was going to be the Cade of the team. Killian Hayes didn't work out, right? So you have these things where I know Atlanta's going to go through drafting a guy, he doesn't work out. They're bringing this guy over, he doesn't work out. But I'm just saying, like, if I'm thinking from me being the guy on the team that's making the decision to trade Trae Young, I need some type of, whether it's 7, 8, 9, 10 picks, 5 picks, whatever it is, I need some type of return that I know that when I'm going through this rebuild, I have this metric I want to go by to get back relevant to relevancy at this point in time, because we're talking about a team that was just in relevancy a couple of years ago. And then Trae got injured, Murray got injured. Who was the center that was there?
Bella's still there.
No, wasn't Jared Allen over there? Who was over there? Was somebody over there that got moved? What's the light-skinned dude name? Oh, fuck. Damn, I forget his name. I'm picturing his face, but I can't fucking get his name. I'm bad with names. But yeah, so I mean, I get you, it's going to be bad, but I just want to know if their game plan is to beat the Pistons or to, have a system or a game plan that gets them out of it.
I mean,
this is Atlanta we're talking about, bro. Like they lucked up in the 80s and got at Dominique. You know what I mean? Like this team just don't historically.
But yeah, and then that goes to the point too. Do you want to historically still be bad, or you want to historically be relevant?
It's not about that. It's just tough, bro. Like
it is.
Honest, like
there's a lot of teams on the bottom.
You're a small market team, bro.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these franchises, at the end of the day, they draft their franchise player, bro.
Player, right? I was just about to say,
able to build around their franchise,
right?
Player. Okay,
100%.
They have tried to build around Trae Young. It is hard to build around Trae Young. So, as an owner, because 9 times out of 10, this plan that you're talking about, this is not going to be a GM's plan. This is going to be an owner's plan.
Owner's plan.
The owner has to have a plan of getting back to being relevant. Guess what? 100%. A GM is more than likely not going to be there over 7, 8 years.
Yes, 100%.
So the owner needs to realize, hey, it's better to start now, or we're going to just keep on going through this process with a guy like Trae Young. Yeah, he's selling seats, but at the end of the day, he's not selling out the arena. At the end of the day, you're not making the playoffs, so you're not making that extra money like most playoff contending teams do. Yeah. So you need to be like, fuck it. Let's just go ahead and get rid of Trae. We love you, Trae. We appreciate what you did here. But it's just, and that's for any borderline star that's not taking you consistently to the playoffs, not taking you consistently on deep runs in the playoffs. That guy, as good as he is throughout the regular season, numbers or whatever, you eventually have to move on from that guy. You see what's going on with a guy like Zach LaVine. They paid him this money, yet the Bulls are mid. Now they're trying to move on from him. But the problem is he's mid. Like he's not worth the contract.
But I also think in that situation where I kind of agree with you, where when you said I kind of agree with you and said you can't ask for that for Trae Young, it's the LaVine situation where LaVine, you ain't getting that for him, and I think that's kind of what the Bulls want for him. But I think Trae Young is a higher caliber player than Zach LaVine.
I think they both fucked themselves up because you pay these guys like they're number ones, but they're not number ones.
Number ones, yeah.
They can be bona fide number twos, but they're not number ones. And I think the problem that you run into with Trae is, he's averaging 22.6 and 11, assists per game. But like the point that I think Buop is making is like the market isn't big for him because we've seen people try to build for him, or build around him, but it hasn't worked. So now when people look at him on the outlook, okay, where is he going to go to where the team is going to work and they're going to be competitive?
Yeah, that's hard for me too.
I don't know what you're saying as well, because for me as well, I'm like, if I'm going to trade a guy who I paid $200+ million to,
you're going to have to give me something.
I need something back for that. Like I need my home back for that.
That Rudy Gobert package.
You feel me? Like that's just how I'm coming at it. If I was a GM, like, I get that his market may not be big, but that's what I'm asking for. You feel me? And if I'm not asking for, I'm willing to eat that, and we'll just rock out with the light skinned nigga until he retire. But
until we
release him, until he's a free agent,
or you go find your franchise player in the draft.
This is the dilemma. See, this is the dilemma y'all dealing with. Do you want to get nothing? Because that's what could happen if you just wait for him to just walk out the door. You get nothing. Or do you want to get something? And this is where the teams have the leverage at, because they know you want to get something.
But do we know if
that's the risk you got to take, though? In my eyes, that's the risk
you just got to take the best deal available for sure. But at the end of the day, you're not going to get a great deal once it's clear that the star don't want to be there no more. Once that's clear that player don't want to be there, teams are not going to throw the boat at you unless they think they can get a contender. Like the Lakers, they're going to give you all them young assets for sure. All of them, the Ra Hachimaras and the D'Angelo Russell might be tossed in that trade. Like I can easily see all that happening. But you still, if you Atlanta, it's better than nothing, but you just want expiring contracts. You need to be bad. You need to be bad when you get the number one draft pick in the draft. You need to be bad the next year after that. And then hopefully you get like two, maybe you do right in 2 back-to-back drafts, right? That's what you got to hope for. And when you're a small market team, you got to do it with the way the Thunder did it. When they drafted a KD, then they get Russ, then they get a Harden. You got to do it that way when you're a small market team. It's just how it goes. Nobody's coming there to play. No superstar is running there to play. They either get traded there and they stay there till they contract up and they gone.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Atlanta, I'm going the route that they took with DeJounte, honestly. You get 2 picks with a few veterans that obviously probably ain't in the league no more, probably circling around the league right now, and you'd be happy with that, right? If not, then you risk your guy, the guy who's essentially keeping you relevant outside of DeAndre Hunter, walking out the door, and then you get nothing. So, if I'm Atlanta, right? Like I'm saying, like I get it because my guy, he's averaging a double-double. So obviously, I understand that the mindset that they're going with is the type of market that they're thinking as like, okay, we got a young point guard, he's averaging a double-double, he's a 3-point shooter, we can definitely get a haul back for this guy. But everybody else is thinking like, nah, their market is really small for him. There's only a few teams that can probably really accept him or probably really need him in the way in which he needs to be used. So we'll give you 2 first-round picks or a first round and a projected second, and like D'Angelo and Dalton Connect or some shit like that, bro. But you're not, nigga. Being realistic, that's how I see it going. if I can, dip into the GM side of both Atlanta and LA. That's how I would see that going. But then again, you never know. Shit. You never know, honestly. Shit. Somebody could trade for him, and I think that he is a number 2, and somebody could trade for him and make him that number 2 and put him in that number 2 spot. You can definitely use some 3-point shooting, somebody who can average 22, 23 points a game, and somebody who knows how to pass the fucking ball. That doesn't mean that he needs to be the focal point, but I would think that he just needs to understand his role and be effective in his role. But he's looked at as a number 2, just like Troy said it, because he was drafted there, or a number 1 because he was drafted there to be so. But I think when you draft 2 number 2s, it combines for one big number 1, but it hurts your team in other aspects. So you get rid of one number 2. Now it's possibly time to get rid of the other one and find a true bona fide number 1 and let him go be a number 2 or a true number 2 on another team.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But let's wrap it up.
Yeah, see, I told you they was gonna lose, bro.
Yeah, we got it. Big win for the Celtics, but final thoughts.
All right, y'all know what it is. Make sure y'all tune in to Gentlemen's Talk tomorrow. We got a crazy, crazy show for y'all. Something that we cooked up in the chat. Legitimately took us like 20 minutes, but it's gonna be fire. I promise you, it's gonna be gas. Thursday, PVT. Make sure you don't miss it. Friday, we talking that ish. We probably gonna have the ladies back on from the Nashville Football League to talk about their winnings and talk about the game and how it went and everything like that. If you missed it, I feel sorry for you. And then we'll be back on Monday. So make sure y'all tune in. And merch will be coming soon. I'm already working on it. I'm about to drop a line in these guys' inbox, get some design updates and some design help, and then merch will be rolling out before the holiday season. So just rock with me, be patient, and then we will see y'all next week.
Final thoughts, Blue.
I'm on mute. I get up with y'all Monday. Oh God.
I see you. I'll be back next Monday too, man.